So Chelsea U team beat the first team 3-0 today, and it was not even full time. That's the funny part. Now I've been wanting to make this video, how talk about Enzo Maresca and his tactics for a few weeks now. I haven't really touched about him or discussed about him in any of my video, but actually with that result, that abysmal performance, our first team couldn't even beat the youth team. Now this leads me to series of questions. Is it the players or is it the coach? You get me? Because these were the same players that we played from the beginning of the season, and in the ending stage of last season, we saw how good they were, and we saw how good they were in the beginning of the season, and all of a sudden a drop off that we cannot even beat the second team. Now this leads me to ask the question: are players that bad, or is the Maresca project or the Maresca ball project a failure? Because obviously now I think I will highlight some few players that was good last season for us, that has been bad under Enzo Maresca. So far so good this season. But first of all, before we get into all that, first of all, welcome back to the channel. This is Papi Knows Football. As you can see, we are on our way to hit 1,700 subscribers, and I have a goal to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the season. So I would love you to help me reach this goal by subscribing to the channel. And the analytics says more than 85% of you, actually around 89% of you that is watching this channel has not or is not subscribing to the channel, which is very, 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 very bad. So smash the subscribe button and help the channel grow. So yeah, let's get into the Enzo Maresca. Now our youth team beating us 3-0, and our next match is meant to be Tottenham, and now we played Arsenal before the international break. The good news here is that we have some few players that will be returning. You get me? But so far so good. The Enzo Maresca team have looked so bad. The Enzo Maresca tactics or the Maresca ball has been so easy. Has been a disgrace. If you check our form since last December, our form is bad, and the pattern of play, I don't even see it there. I don't see what the coach is trying to implement. A lot of people were saying that the reason why we look so good in the first half of the season is that the players has not understood or he has not implemented his playing style. You get me? But since he implemented his playing style, we have been bad. Like, our drop off need to be studied. A team that was at the verge of going for the league, we are mentioned and we are in contention for league titles. You get me? So we might be missing out in Champions League. We are missing out Champions League spot with the way we are going, because with our next few matches coming up, I don't really see us winning any of them. Minus Tottenham, I don't see us. We have Brentford, we have Newcastle, we have Nottingham Forest. I don't see us beating any of them. We can't even beat Ipswich Town, and that makes me ask: is it the coach or is it the players? Because I don't think our players are that bad. I don't really think that our players are that bad. Now, if you look at Malo Gusto under Enzo Maresca has been abysmal. Last season, Malo Gusto had 9 assists, I think, in something like 37 or 39 matches. This season, he has 2 in 24. The eye test, when the player might not have a goal and assist, the context, like the eye test has been very, very bad. Malo Gusto has been very, very poor this season. Now, if you go the other side, you look at Cucurella, you say yes, he improved under Enzo Maresca. Point of correction: Cucurella started inverting under Pochettino, and he ended the season well. Went to the Euros before meeting Maresca, performed really, really well, and returned to the squad. So what Cucurella, the form he's on, has nothing to do with Maresca, and we could give it to Maresca for actually play him on the right wing, but Maresca didn't improve Cucurella. Now you look at Caicedo. Caicedo was in a very, very good patch at the ending of last season. He was a very, very good patch. He was very instrumental to Ecuador at the Copa America. Now you can't even attribute it to Maresca. Now you look at Copama, a player that had 40 goal contribution last season, 25 goals and 15 assists. This season he had just 20 in 33 matches. But obviously, not just the goals. I'm not even talking about Copama's goals. Copama is looking very, very poor. You could say it's the coach. You could say it's a player just going through a bad patch. But two things can be true. But all this thing is not coincidence. That we have players that we are good, not good anymore. And we have had this coach insisted on playing Robert Sanchez as his goalkeeper. Like, even everybody, you know that Sanchez is bad. I know Sanchez is bad. Everyone knows that Sanchez is bad. He insisted playing Sanchez. Now, if you look at a player that like Jordan Sancho at the ending of last season, before Chelsea signed him, he was in Champions League final, balling out for Borussia Dortmund. Came to Chelsea after a few matches. This is not a coincidence. Now, in some situation, like right now, I think we should be looking at the coach. We should be looking at the coach. You look at our backline, Disasi. Disasi was solid for us last season. This season, get rid of him. He's not part of my plan. And man was getting rid of him. He looked very, very poor under Enzo Maresca. Now, that's why we should be looking at this coach. What is really, really going on? What is happening? Like at this point, it's not the players anymore. I'm looking at Maresca. What is going on? What is really going on? What is he telling these players? What exactly is Maresca telling these players? Losing to your youth team, under 16 mixed with under 21. Under 16 mixed with under 21. We're not even talking of a senior team. We saw a struggle against Copenhagen. That match against Copenhagen, the only luck I had is that Manchester United was playing. I slept. Anytime I looked at Chelsea match, I slept off. Because that was the most boring match I've seen this season. Against Arsenal, we couldn't even. How many goals? I don't think we had a shot on. We had a shot on target from Cucurella. I don't know. This manager should be looked at. Enzo Maresca is a suspect. Enzo Maresca is a suspect. Now, I have a theory. You get me? I've dished out a lot of negatives, but here is a positive side. Now, when I'm looking at Chelsea team and I'm seeing PSG team, I'm not saying anywhere we are PSG team, because when you look at PSG recruitment, they had the best of the best. They have one of the best young players, Desire Doué, Bracola, and some experience like Ousmane Dembele and Kvaratskhelia, and we don't really have that. But you look at that team for the past 2 seasons, they have been really been poor, and even some part of the beginning, this season in the beginning they were poor, especially in the Champions League. You get me? But if you look at them recently, PSG has been a team that no one wants to play. They have been unbeatable. They trashed out Liverpool, who has been on a very, very good form. Since Liverpool since their encounter with PSG, their life have never been the same. They went ahead and they lost the Carabao Cup final, crashed out in the Champions League in the same way. Now PSG, I think PSG has the record of the only team that hasn't lost at home this season. I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now I'm looking at that team. It took a while for them to get for Luis Enrique, who I think is more experienced than Enzo Maresca, to get his playing style and get his ideas across to the players. It took a while. So that's where I'm looking at it. Sometimes you need to get bad before you get good. You get me? Now let me give you an example. If you are building a muscle, or you go to gym, you need to tear down the tissue, the fiber of your muscle for it to rebuild. That's how you gain muscle. So that's how I'm seeing it. That's the positive side. I'm looking at it. Okay, maybe in the long run, this player might actually understand what the coach is trying to say. But at the moment, we are very, very bad. Losing 2-1. Sorry, 3-0. And it wasn't the full time. It was not the full time. Now we have Tottenham on Thursday. Bruh. Tottenham on Thursday. How are we going to beat Tottenham if we can't even beat our youth team? How are we going to do that? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. This whole thing is really, really crazy, in my opinion. It's really, really crazy. But I think Maresca owes us some answers. He need to answer. He need to answer us to what is going on in this team, because I don't understand. You get me? So that's all for now. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. You go be.